Welcome to the 2024 series of the Property Report podcast by Property Guru. Now, throughout this series, we will investigate the newest trends in the real estate sector, examining different Asian markets. This special episode is brought to you by HLB, the official supervisor of PropertyGuru Asia Property Awards. Now, today's discussion focuses on a critical theme: the evolution of urban spaces across Asia, driven by the emergence of mixed-use developments. Now, as cities in the region undergo profound transformations, it is essential to explore these dynamic changes. We are privileged to have esteemed individuals from the PropertyGuru Asia Property Awards series joining us to share insights into the innovative initiatives within the real estate industry. Starting off with Lavin Nalinababu, Director of Business Consultancy, HLB, HAMT. HLB is the official supervisor of the PropertyGuru Asia Property Awards, who is looking to expand this year in the Middle East. So watch out for more news on the official AsiaPropertyAwards.com website. Joining us also is the lovely Suphin Mechuchep, CEO, SenX Group PCL and Chairperson, Judging Panel, Property Guru, Thailand Property Awards. Hello. Welcome.
Hello. Hi, Tina. Hi. Pleasure meeting you today.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, Tina.
For the first question, how are mixed-use developments reshaping the urban landscape in Asian cities? And what are the key advantages they offer over traditional single-use developments?
May I go first?
Go ahead, Ms. Suphin.
Yeah. Of course, mixed-use developments are significantly transforming urban landscapes in Asian cities by integrating residential, commercial, and recreation spaces into a single complex. This approach addresses the limitations of traditional single-use zoning that often led to urban untidy and traffic congestion. The key advantages that I would think would include promoting vibrant, walkable communities where people can live, work, and play within close proximities, reducing the needs for long commutes and decreasing, of course, greenhouse gas emissions. These developments enhance social interaction and create dynamic urban environments that would support diverse activity throughout the day and night. I think this is how I think about the key advantages of the mixed-use development.
I would probably talking about mixed-use developments in UAE particularly because I'm based out of UAE, and then probably I'll touch upon GCC countries as well. So mixed-use developments in the Middle East, particularly in the UAE, are significantly reshaping. Probably this has started after COVID. Previously there has been mixed-use development, but then there hasn't been a significant surge of mixed-use properties in the UAE. Earlier, it has been single-use properties, but then now we see a lot of new development, which are basically mixed-use developments. So as Ms. Suphin said, there are so many factors which have contributed. One is accessibility. So mixed-use developments create walkable communities, as she mentioned. Then there is active lifestyle. Now, if you look at the young population, people are very active. They wanted an active lifestyle. So this mixed-use development gives a lot of opportunity for that. And then healthcare facilities. It's not just recreational activities. There are healthcare facilities which comes along with mixed-use developments. Another thing is environmental benefits. So across the globe, it's not just in Asia. Across the globe, everyone is looking at sustainability. So this contributes a lot when you compare it with single-use properties. When it is a mixed-use development, there are a lot of significance given for sustainability.
Ms. Suphin, is there anything else you would like to add to that?
I would say there is a good example in Bangkok for the mixed-use development that is now under construction, and it's reshaped the it's reshaped the activity of the downtown business districts of Bangkok a lot. So with the mixed-use developments of more than 2 million square meters. So it's not the project, it's called the district. So the district that comprises of residential, hotels, office building, and retail is have reshaped the new landscape of the traffic flow activity of the people in the communities, and the foreseeing of the potential economic growth for the Bangkok vicinities. So with the infrastructure that link into the complex, so we could say that it is one of the mega projects that is happening in Thailand. So come to see One Bangkok, which is a very in the central business area with the prime location. It could be easy connect directly to the expressway and with the underground MRT. So it's quite interesting concept that's happening in Bangkok now.
Now, what challenges do developers and stakeholders face when implementing mixed-use developments in diverse Asian urban contexts? And how are these challenges being addressed?
Developers and stakeholders face several challenges when implementing mixed-use developments in diverse Asian urban contexts. I would say including balancing the needs of residential and commercial spaces. It have to be managing traffic and parking, and you have to address the potential gentrifications. These challenges are being addressed through thoughtful urban planning, such as separating commercial and residential areas within the same development. And you have to incorporate extensive green spaces and pedestrian-friendly designs. Additionally, strategic location near public transportations that I have mentioned prior is and carefully considerations of community needs. It would help mitigate some of these challenges.
Yeah, so one of the challenges that mixed-use development has is regulatory compliance. Now, when you look at mixed-use development, it's a huge area that you require in terms of development. So it's not just one building that you're constructing. So there are a lot of compliance requirements. There are regulatory requirements. So the developer has to work closely with the government in terms of accessibility, infrastructure. So these are primary challenges. And another challenge that probably would be the investment. So if it is like single use, the investment is much lesser when you compare it with mixed use developments, because there are a lot of facilities that you need to provide. There are a lot of amenities. So the investment that required for mixed use is much higher when you compare it with single use development. And another challenge probably I would say is the development itself. So when it is a single use development, usually it's done by a master developer. Now, when it's a large area that you're developing, it's more of a community. There are a lot of buildings, there are a lot of infrastructure requirements. So it's been divided by different developers, sub-developers. So there are contractors who are supporting these master developers. So coordinating between these different service providers, contractors, it's a bit of a challenge. But then obviously there are private-public partnership that happens. So these are something which is a challenge, but then when you look at the benefits, overall benefit that you get from mixed-use development, probably it's not a big hassle as you say.
Thank you, Lavin. Now, what are the economic implications of mixed-use developments for local communities and businesses in Asian urban centers?
Now, if you look at UAE as a country, the 80% population is urban population. So there's a huge demand for urban living. And then when you say probably there's no space constraint compared with other Asian countries, Now, for example, Singapore, there's no further development because it's already a lot of space constraint there. But then UAE as such, we don't see that. But however, what as I said, 80% population is urban population, so there is a demand for it. Now, when there is a demand for it, obviously you need better facilities, integrated facilities. All these have to be offered, and people are up for it. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, now after COVID, there is a lot of development. There's a demand for it. Now, even if you look at 2024, there's a shortage of supply in terms of offering. There are limited units available. The population has grown significantly. I'm particularly talking about UAE and the GCC. So there are projects, there are a lot of projects which are upcoming projects. There's a lot of demand. And similarly in other countries, now if you look at Saudi, there's a lot of development happening, and these are all mixed-use development. So similarly in other GCC countries. Now, it also adds a lot of value in terms of economic upliftment. When you say the property value goes up, or when there's a demand, obviously it goes up. There's a lot of job creations done when you have development, and it's a huge development. Obviously, there, as I mentioned earlier as well, there's subcontracting. So there's a lot of job creation. And even if you look at, say, for example, there are multiple retail units, so and then other facilities, management of these properties. So there is a lot of job creation done as well. So in terms of economic growth, obviously that helps the country in terms of entrepreneurship. Another thing, when there's a community living, there are a lot of opportunities there. It also increases the revenue for the government as well. In terms of, obviously, it's if you look at other Asian countries, there are taxes which obviously contribute to the growth of the country.
Hey, Suphin, how different is it in Thailand?
Yeah, I agree with Gavin that mixed-use development have positive economic implications for local communities and commercial spaces. They support economic growth and job creation, like Lavin mentioned earlier, because that would be attracting businesses to commercial spaces, which it will stimulate economic activity. The mixed-use developments also enhance local economies by creating vibrant economic hubs that would generate employment opportunity across various sectors. Furthermore, the proximity of residential and commercial spaces would reduce transportation costs and increase overall economic productivity by creating more efficient workforces in the city. However, additionally, I would think that it helps the economic growth, but you have to be underlying about the ESG, which is the 17 UNESCO that we would need to consider the environmental, social growth while we are developing the mixed-use development, because it's going to be a huge spaces and it would impact the environment and social of the communities in those areas. So we'd have to think about ESG as one of the key economic implications as well.
And finally, how do mixed-use developments contribute to sustainability and livability in densely populated Asian cities? And what design principles are being employed to achieve these goals? You may go ahead, Ms. Suphin.
All right, thank you, Tina. I would think the mixed-use development contribute to sustainability and livability by promoting walkability, reducing reliance on private vehicles, and integrating green spaces and energy-efficient buildings. Design principles employed including creating pedestrian-friendly environments, incorporating extensive green spaces, and you have to ensuring accessibility to public transportation that we mentioned earlier. This development would also encourage social interaction and community bonding through well-designed public spaces and amenities. By integrating various functions into a cohesive urban fabric, mixed-use development enhances the quality of life and create more sustainable urban environments friendly. So its design principle would need to play a lot of underlying elements that it would need to be in the good location, and it have to make sure that all of the mixed-use development have been well thought through and linked together with the annex to the public transportation. That would be a key. And also you need to think about, whenever developing the mixed-use development, you will need to think about demand supply, because the mixed-use development is going to use a lot of huge capital investment. So the timeline, the phasing on each type of the development, you will need to consider, and you need to be foresee the market trend of the demand and supply as your competitive advantage with the surrounding competitors.
So there are a lot of initiatives across the globe to reduce carbon emission, and this gives a lot of importance for mixed-use development. Now, efficiency, energy efficiency and renewable energy, when you consider that every building, as Ms. Suphin was saying, there are a lot of compliance requirements from governments now to ensure that these energy efficiency measures are taken by the developer. Similarly, in terms of green infrastructure, so there are a lot of initiatives being taken to plant trees, to generate a lot of green spaces among the community. As an initiative, everyone is trying to use electric vehicles instead of cars and other vehicles. People are preferring to walk within the community. So this actually gives a lot of importance for community living, where you get everything within the community. So mixed-use development offers this, and then that's basically part of the design. When a developer considers a mixed-use development, they make sure that all these are achievable within that.
Lavin, thank you so much for your time. Also, great seeing you, Ms. Suphin, and I do hope to see you in Bangkok this year. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Property Report podcast by Property Guru. Now, this special episode is brought to you by HLB, the official supervisor of PropertyGuru Asia Property Awards. Once again, if you're interested in the awards expansion to the Middle East, tune in to our official accounts. And of course, stay tuned for more exciting topics in our upcoming episodes. Do visit our website, asiapropertyawards.com. Once again, that's asiapropertyawards.com. Until next time.